Hey, you guys. Thank you for stopping by my channel with your girl, Markeisha, with Manifest with Markeisha. I just wanted to take a few moments to make a short video for anyone who needs to hear this right now. I know that the road to manifestation can be a daunting one at times. It really can. And anyone out there that tells you that you're supposed to be perfect in this, you're supposed to, you're not doing things right if you have negative thoughts, you're not doing things right if doubt comes into play, you're not doing things right if this or that, if you're just not going from believing, affirming, visualizing, receiving. I, I want you to know, guys, that that is just not true. And let me tell you why it's not true. We are human beings. And I believe in my heart of hearts, whether others choose to agree with me or not, that manifestation that is about a journey of self-discovery, tapping into one's higher self, getting to a place or a higher place of consciousness, because we are living daily. We're naturally manifesting daily. We're naturally doing those things daily, whether you realize it or not. So when you get to a place of being a conscious manifester, that means you're just thinking about what you're thinking about, for lack of better terms. Then there is going to be an heightened sense of awareness of essentially the negative things that come up as well. How many of us just go through life seriously? This negative thought pops in our head, that negative thought pops in our head, and we think nothing of it because we think that possibly, whether it be by how we are raised, what we're exposed to, things, experiences, that stuff shapes our way of thinking. And we think that that becomes who we are, and that stuff can't change it. So if a negative thought, say you think you're not good enough, and you go to try to accomplish something and it doesn't go well, oh, that didn't work out because I know I'm not smart anyway. That's self negative talk. That's limiting beliefs. That's a low self-concept of oneself. And you're not thinking about it because it's just like robotic at a point. When you start this manifestation journey, you're telling yourself, or you're embarking on this journey to get to a place where you're consciously being aware of the thoughts that are coming across your brain. And you get discouraged because you probably be like, dang, I didn't realize how stinking my thinking was. I wasn't aware of how negative I could be. I wasn't aware of how limited I was thinking. Um, so when I tell you that it's a part of the process, love yourself and be okay with the fact that it's literally a part of the process. I used to run track when I was younger. I ran from the 8th grade all through high school. And I was a sprinter. I was not a long distance runner. I do not. You guys, forgive me for this blur. I'm sitting in front of my window, and no matter how I've tried to turn this camera, I can't get rid of this. So please forgive me in the lighting, because right now I can't do nothing about it. I'm facing the window and the blinds are glaring through. But that aside, when I ran track, my coach, he used to tell me, if you run 200, I need you to run 400. I used to be like, Coach, it's going to kill me. That's too far. It's too long. I'm going to be too tired. I just need 200 out of me. And at the time, I was trying to skip practice because I just didn't want to run 400 and 2 laps around the track. The 800 for what? Sprinting for what? And this is earlier on, and I was so frustrated. I remember one time I ran as fast as I could. I did 400. And I thought I was, and I was telling the coach, I was like, Coach, my stomach hurts. I can't do this. This was after the summer. So this is conditioning. It's conditioning. And I told him, I was like, I got to use the bathroom. I got to throw up. He was like, use the bathroom, throw up, and get back out here and run again. And I was like, Coach, don't you see me? I'm not doing well. And he said, if you walk off my field and don't come back, don't ever come back. And I was just like, oh, he just doesn't get me. He doesn't understand. He's not understanding. This is hurting me. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. And I ran again. And before I knew it, what seemed to be painful, the more that I persevered through the discomfort, the better of a runner I became. And anyone who was an athlete or who is an athlete, who was an athlete, understands the conditioning, the preparation time necessary to be great. I'm going to say the exact same thing. I don't know why it's a hard concept to pick up for some, and that's okay. I want to explain it. I want to make it as simple as possible. When you are on your journey of manifestation, you are going from a certain way of thinking to a new way of thinking. There's a process in that. I like to call it the power of the peace. The power of the peace for me is the road to our promise or the road to our manifestation. And we establish what our purpose is going to be. Some people a lot of people have entered manifestation because they, broke up with someone or they lost their relationship and they really want to manifest their ex back. They want to manifest their specific person back. Or they lose their job. Most of the time, more often than not, whatever that purpose is, whatever that life-changing event is that makes you come to a place within yourself to say, I want something different. I want to make this happen. That's how we usually all get here. So that whatever that is, that's the pain that you have to tap into. That's the frustration you have to tap into. That's that pain that we're going to have to overcome. And no matter, there is no easy road, so to speak. You are not going to be able to cut the corners and have longevity in your manifestation. Remember, we're manifesting all the time, whether you realize it or not. And you can do something temporarily to try to get a result, and it's not going to be lasting. When I talk to you guys, my desire for you is that it's lasting, the empowerment to make you have the life, the love, the abundance that you're looking for, and for it to be lasting. So as you're embarking on your journey, going back again for the conditioning, look at it as a conditioning to get you where you are. You have the pain that you are going to have to persevere through. Anybody that tells you you're not going to have to persevere while you're waiting on your manifestation, I'm not going to necessarily follow after them. I will never tell you guys what to do. You can follow who you want to follow. I just understand where is the growth and development. Remember, my thought process is manifestation is about you coming into the highest version of yourself. So if you are someone who thinks you are not worthy of love, if you're someone who thinks you're not worthy of success and you're not worthy of abundance and you're not worthy of those things, you can apply the principles all day long, but once you get it, you're still not going to think you're worthy to keep it. You're still not going to think you're worthy to have got the promotion. You're not going to be thinking you're worthy enough to stay in a relationship. You're going to think somebody's better than you. And so there is a process to develop the character in order to maintain the stamina and the endurance in the long run. Going back to my track conditioning, I ran 400, so that 200 was nothing, or half the track on that. I have 400, the whole track. You are prepared for this thing. This waiting process, these doubts that come in are there and designed to show you something about yourself. And if you lose sight of the lessons in the process, you'll repeat the process all over again. And that's just something that I feel like I'm not hearing a whole lot about. I've been on YouTube video after video, and you hear a lot of good people, good channels out there that'll give you the tips and tricks. And they'll say, hey, affirm, visualize, use subliminals, use the 3-6-9 method, live in the end. All of that is accurate. All of that is accurate. I'm not negating that. But there is something that we're failing to realize, and this is where I believe people fall short. We talk more about that part and we forget the process of it. We forget the human aspect of what we're going to actually endure in the process in order to get to that promise, in order to get to that manifestation. And if that is these moments where you're like, oh shoot, my reality is completely contradicting things. What do I do? Or am I doing this right because I had a negative thought in there? All of that is awareness. It's a beautiful state of awareness. It's a beautiful state of you understanding that, hey, I am now tapping into a higher level of myself, a higher level of consciousness that I didn't have before, because before these thoughts used to be there, but I wasn't aware that they were there. Just because you're not aware that the thoughts are there doesn't mean that they weren't there. What you're doing in stepping up to that higher level of yourself is conditioning yourself to be aware. And when you're aware, now you know what to do with them. Okay, let's just say you're believing you got fired from a job, right? And you're like, I'm going to manifest another job, or you're still working. Let's just say you're still working and you're manifesting a more stable life for yourself, more financially secure. You want, you have bills and debts and stuff like that. I am abundant. I am, I have no lack, and I have everything that I desire. I get easily and effortlessly, whatever your affirmation is, right? And then as you're affirming, you get fired. Complete contradiction to where you say you want to be, and you're not understanding it. Like, it's getting on my nerves. And at that point in time, you have a choice to make. Oh my gosh, this is not working. Oh my gosh, this is the worst thing in the world. This always happens to me. This never works out for me. Nothing never works out. Now you're basically this structure you're trying to build up, you're breaking it down. And the whole reason for the test to hit you is so that it conditions you to continue to build your structure up. This is this 400 you got to run in preparation for where you're trying to be, which is that 200, right? So what I mean is this happens. You know what? I know that the universe, or the Most High, is working out for my greatest and highest good. I know that this door shut for a reason. Now I can readjust fire and see what door's supposed to open for me. I know that for every closed door opportunity, there's another open door opportunity. I know that all this is doing is building my patience, and it's building my trust in the process. Those are the other parts of the process that we have to understand. Tests are designed to show us who we are in life, the same way that we go through school. Every time we have to level up to a new thing, we have to test out of that old thing. I've told you guys before, I homeschool. So my 7-year-old, when it's time for him to go to a new subject, a new concept, okay, we have to ensure that he has the old concept down, or understandings of the old concept. Something's in my eye, guys. Oh my gosh. Hold on. If he doesn't understand the old concept, he can't never really get to the new concept. You have to understand the concept of who you are, your current self-concept. And in order to raise your self-concept, you have to understand where your current concept is. So when these things happen, it's like the universe saying, hey, Markeisha, this is who you are right now. You going to stay here? What are you going to do? We are so shaken with the challenges life gives us, instead of looking at them as opportunities to raise our self-concept. And that's the whole purpose of the process, to raise your self-concept, come to a higher level of yourself. And it is by the beautiful, I would say, instrument of manifestation. In the art of manifestation, we learn how to raise our self-concept. We learn how to tap into a higher level of ourselves. And it is by the challenges that we're presenting, and it's nothing but the test to show us who we are and where we are at in our journey. So my encouragement for you guys is, don't get discouraged when negative thoughts or things contradict where you're manifesting. That's actually a sign that you're going in the right direction. If before you manifested, life was just happening, life just happens. But when you become a conscious manifester, when you become more aware in your conscious thinking, that where you're not, life is not happening to you from the subconscious level, but that it is, you are creating the life that you want to live. You are a co-creator of that life through the things that you think, and that begins to reflect out in your natural world. You will then understand that all you're doing is being built to handle the level of manifestation that you say you want, because your low level self who thinks that they're not worthy, who thinks that they're not, that always has a mentality of lack, who doesn't think that they're qualified. Even if you get that job, you're going to talk yourself right out that job. You're going to talk yourself, you're going to call somebody else to come in and take it over. Some scenario is going to happen to give you exactly what you think about yourself. And God loves us so much that he wants us to have an abundant life. And that abundant life has to first come with a way of thinking. One of my favorite Bible stories, I'm going to use a Bible story, okay, I think we all know it, whether you believe in God or not. I think somebody has heard the Egyptian story and the children in the wilderness. That has come across our path at some point. So one of my favorite Bible studies, because God pulled the Israelites from Egypt into the wilderness, and in the wilderness before they got to the promised land. The beauty of what he did was, I've heard someone say it before, he took the children into the wilderness to get them out of Egypt, and took them into the wilderness to get Egypt. Did I say that right? He took them out of Egypt to the wilderness. Yeah. And then took them into the wilderness to get Egypt out of them before they could get to the promised land. They spent 40 years in the wilderness and died off in there. Why? Because their mentality never changed. They maintained a low self-concept. They weren't prepared for royalty. They weren't prepared for abundance. He was trying to, but they kept missing the purpose of the process. They missed it. They missed these challenges to grow them up. They missed the conditioning that was necessary, that they would be great where they were going, because they were going over there. And the first time they got an opportunity to show them, they went over there and God says, okay, you guys been here long enough, go over to the promised land. And they said, well, let's go peek into the 5D first. Let's peek into the 5D. 5D is the reality that we say we want to have, right? That's another. We see 3D. That's what we have today. That's that wilderness. He said, all right. They said, well, we want to go peek first. We want to go see if this is it. And they went over there and they came back scared. Oh my God. Like, these people are giants over there. They're this. Some people, you say you want greatness, and you say you want this perfect relationship. You say you want this perfect job. You say you want all this money, but you're really not prepared for that. You will get over there and you will fumble the bag. And God loves us so much that he does not want us to fumble the bag. So he allows life challenges to condition us, to get us out of that low self-concept, that low self-thinking, that when we apply the tools correctly, we will raise our self-concept. We will raise our vibrational levels. And guess what? We will be on the proper playing field or playing field, that when we get over to our promise, when our manifestation actually aligns up with our 3D, then we're ready for it. We're not going to fumble the bag. Our mentality is like, when all this money starts coming, some people start, you get all this money. You're going to be like, I've been abundant. This is nothing for me. I know how to carry myself and maintain my integrity at the same time. Oh my gosh, I'm so used to being magnetic. Money flows to me effortlessly. Oh, somebody sent me $1,000. Oh, that's nothing. I mean, but humility at the same time. I'm appreciative, because gratitude is the place that we needed to be. When they were in the wilderness, they were always complaining. Why do I got to be here? What's going on? Why we ain't got this? Why we got that? People spend more time about complaining where they are in the process instead of being grateful for where they are. These are just tips and tricks along the way that, again, in the law of manifestation community, most people are just talking about name it, firm, visualize, and you're missing the whole purpose to build your character to prepare you for your promise. So, ladies and gents, all y'all in the community, I am excited for this. I'm excited for you guys. I'm excited for your moments of challenges. Because we need the moments of challenge to prepare us for the greatness that we're trying to manifest. So hold on, be grateful, love on yourself in the process. And in doing so, you're rising up. Trust the process. Be patient. It's coming. That's all I got for now. I love you. Until next time. Peace out.